The Saturn Cocktail is a cocktail firmly planted in tiki and tropical cultures. However, to the vast majority of cocktail fans, it's relatively unheard of. So at the end of this video, I would love you to go away and look at that original recipe and try it, make it for yourselves, try it and see what you think to it. But in this video, what I'm actually going to do is use some of the amazing ingredients that I've got behind me and take the Saturn in just a very slightly different direction. So the original Saturn cocktail is a gin-based cocktail. It's a London dry juniper forward gin that's called for. It's just essentially blended with passion fruit and your almond flavors through both falernum and orgeat syrup. With this recipe, I'm not taking it away from gin. I'm just slightly tweaking the gin that I'm using. Now, yes, with this cocktail, I am adding a couple of little extra layers of flavor to this, but I think that just enhances this cocktail. Now, the gin I have chosen to use for this is Citadel's Jardin d'été. I'm useless at French, I'm really sorry. But the essential premise of this gin is melon notes, it's citrus notes, but big yuzu notes. And I really think those tropical flavors, A, enhance the tropicalness of this cocktail, but B, kind of work with the passion fruit and the other flavors that are going on. So I'm going to do a full 2 ounces, 60 ml double bubble. Now I'm going to combine that gin with this liqueur. Now I know 99.9% of you won't have this gin, but I'm just here to showcase and give you inspiration. Look, this is a pineapple and grapefruit liqueur from the same people that make Dutch Barn. That's why I've got it down there. There's another one there as well. But what I am saying with this, yes, while I know you won't have it, a pineapple liqueur or a grapefruit liqueur or a combo of both of them together would work really, really well in this cocktail. So for this, we're just going to do 15 ml. And those of you that have tried it, this just reminds me of lilt. It's like a boozy lilt. It's so good. Now for my almond notes, I'm not using orgeat in this. The original recipe is falernum and orgeat. If you remember back to a few videos ago now, I sort of made my own falernum because I ran out and I had plenty of Goldstone's lime and ginger rum, which is essentially the base of a falernum. So I've just sweetened it up, added some more almond notes to it, and I've got my own homemade falernum, and it is absolutely out of this world. It's a lot stronger than your typical falernums. It's 20, what did I bring this down to? 22.5%, whereas JD Taylor's Velvet Falernum is 11%. So it's a little bit stronger, a little bit boozier, but it's such an incredible flavors going on with this. So again, 15 ml, half an ounce. And yes, will normal falernum work? Of course it will. As I always say, I personally prefer JD Taylor's over the Bitter Truth. I think the Bitter Truth is too sort of gingery forward. I do prefer JD Taylor's, but if you can make something like this for yourself, try it. Now for the passion fruit, this should be no strangers to you. I'm firmly in Boiron's camp now over that, and the color of this just compared to all the other brands, you know, you'll see exactly where I'm coming from with this. So 20 ml, and then I'm going for some lemon juice. And again, why wouldn't I use Boiron's lemon juice? Why would you bother squeezing your own when you could get 100% proper amazing lemon juice from Boiron? 22.5 ml this time of lemon juice. Now for my sweetener, I have been playing with agave nectar a lot recently, and I think that would work quite well, but I wanted a little bit of spice notes, and I do like honey syrup as well. So I've got my hot honey syrup out. It's just a honey syrup at the base of this with a little 45 with a little bit of chili. You know, so you've got a little bit of spice in there. Just going for 10 ml of that. So the more cocktails I make these days, the more this stuff comes out to play. This is just my saline solution, 20 grams of salt, rock salt or sea salt to 80 grams of water. That gives you a 20% saline solution. I've never seen any bartender deviate away from this. I keep saying standard 5 drops. And that doesn't make your cocktails salty in the slightest. It just elevates flavors. Now, I've seen this cocktail served up in many different glasses, from footed pilsners to smaller highballs, like 10, 12 ounce highballs, to double old-fashioned glasses. This is a double old-fashioned glass from Artis. It's slightly bigger. I think it's 12 3/4 ounces, this one. And garnished with a couple of mint sprigs there, and it'd be rude not to use my mates at Frona. Use all the tropical fruits there. I've got half a grapefruit, I've got a pineapple, and I've got a passion fruit slice. Now don't forget, if you like this style of cocktail, I've got a free PDF ebook that you can download where I'll show you how to riff up 10 of my favorite cocktails. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, there'll be a link in the pinned comment and a link in the description of this video. So how does this cocktail taste? Amazing, incredible, fantastic. I love passion fruit that's balanced with those sort of tiki notes. So you've got the heat from the hot honey syrup coming through there as well. Honey and passion fruit works really well. I've got the Falernum vibes that I absolutely don't lose. I do not lose the gin. I think the crucial thing with this, even if you are using a flavoured gin, especially a sort of a citrusy flavoured gin, is you do want something with those juniper notes. If you haven't got those juniper notes, you might as well just use vodka. And there is just loads of layers of flavour going on there. You get a subtle twist of the pineapple and the grapefruit. Both of those come out there. There's the different layers of that falernum. Remember, that falernum has got a little bit of ginger in there as well. So you've got the ginger, you've got the almond notes, you've got the lime notes, the citrusy notes coming through there. Now, there are some other ways that you could take this cocktail. It's a very good, the original recipe is a very good base. And I'll put those recipes up on screen now. But what I would also love to hear from you guys is, how would you take that original recipe and take that in a different direction? For me, a couple of things I might do for this, what I've got used to, as you'll have seen in the last sort of 2 or 3 cocktails, is I miss the aroma. I miss bitters, those spritzes on the top. You could go sort of a lime leaf. So we've got Miss Better's lime leaf. I think it's tucked away. I forget where it is now. I'll be there somewhere. With Miss Better's lime leaf, we could have a little spray. I know where it is. It's right here, look. So you've got the spritz cap on top. So you could do sort of add extra citrusy notes on top of there. In this filming session, fig and fennel are also coming out again. Otherwise, I would have done fig and fennel on top there because I know they work with pineapple and passion fruit flavours. So you've got those other opportunity. Would I have sort of swapped out the honey? I don't know, because I love agave. I love honey. I think honey passion fruit is actually more of my vibe as opposed to kind of like agave and passion fruit. I just think that combo works really well. Now, just a little quick backstory behind this, behind the Saturn. It was actually invented created, I should say, 1967. This was the winning entry in 1967 to the International Bartending Association competition. The big international global competition that's still going today. This won it. Now, that original entry that went into the competition was actually called the X-15. Now, I don't know too much about the history of the American space program, but also I kind of roughly know the X-15 exploded or crashed or something happened to it. So this was promptly renamed the Saturn, because the one thing I do know is the Saturn was the first Apollo rocket to go into space shortly afterwards. So that's where the name change came from. So if you like this recipe and you like my channel, you like what I'm about, do not forget to subscribe to this channel, because then you won't miss any of my future videos. And talking of future videos, the very next cocktail I'm attacking is the Illusion. Yeah, that's coming out to play.